Hello, everybody. It's Cindy Greenway here from lawmarketing.com. And today we're talking about the difference between networking versus net socializing. I'm here today with Arjan Robbins, who's the founder of How to Manage a Small Law Firm, one of the leading management advisory services dedicated exclusively to the unique needs of the owner of a solo or small law firm. So, Arjan, welcome to our session here today.
Hi, Cindy. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So I've been hearing a little bit of buzz about a couple of the last presentations that you've been given at your How to Make Money tour. And one of the topics that I keep hearing about is the networking versus net socializing. So tell me, what is the difference between the two of these? What caused the stir at the event? And what can attorneys be doing with these two items?
Well, it's really interesting that the name of the tour is "How to Make More Money with Your Small Law Firm,"
Hmm.
and we've got all kinds of great stuff that we're sharing. A lot of practical, tangible, hard-hitting, step-by-step
Hmm.
kind of stuff.
Right?
And we did a sneak preview last week in Miami, and it was unpublished, unpublicized. We did a little sneak preview for a group of about 30 lawyers, and we had another 30 on by webinar.
Okay.
And just as almost like a offhanded remark, I made a comment about networking versus net socializing, and everyone just sort of exploded out of their seats, and they wanted to know more. And so, I figured, oh, well, this is obviously a topic that people want to know more about.
Right?
So basically, the gist of it is that um, networking is productive,
Hmm.
and it generates leads and referrals for your law firm.
Okay.
Net socializing is not productive. And so the way you can tell whether you're networking versus net socializing, well, the easiest way is to look at the effect.
Right.
If you go out and you do a whole bunch of quote unquote networking events,
Hmm.
and you know 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months goes by, and you're not starting to get some traction, you're not starting to get some ROI, there's a chance you might have been net socializing instead of networking.
Right.
So some examples of net socializing versus networking. For example, if you're a let's just say, for example, if you're a family law attorney
Hmm.
and you are going and hanging around with a bunch of other family law attorneys
Hmm.
at a bar function, you know, that's net socializing. It's not networking because it's not strategically designed, or at least it doesn't have a very good chance, very high odds of resulting in referrals. So, family law attorneys who are hanging around with other family law attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys who are hanging around with other bankruptcy attorneys, criminal defense attorneys who are hanging around with other criminal defense attorneys, there's a real good chance that what you've been doing is net socializing and not
Not
networking.
networking. Great. And I
Right.
think
So,
that is common, isn't it? I think in the attorney world where they do tend to attend networking events and so on that are with their own kind rather than branching out and finding where their potential targets are and their potential clients are, rather. So, what?
guilty as charged. I used to do that all the time when I was
Right.
trying to grow my practice, and then one day I realized, I'm like, wow, everyone around me is complaining about the same things.
Hmm.
Everyone around me does the same things that I do. And that's, of course, why we have so much to talk about,
Hmm.
because we all have the same experience. And I realized, wait a second, if we all have the same experience, it means because we're all working with the same kind of clients,
Hmm.
which means that, other than the rare exception where you have a conflict of interest, or the rare exception when you've got a conflict in your schedule or something like that, why in the world would anyone here in this room who does what I do, who services the same target
People.
market that I service
Hmm.
in the same way, why? And that's an important point I'll come back to. Why would they become my referral source? And the answer is they wouldn't. They would
Right.
not become my referral source. Now, I mentioned, why would anyone who services the same target market as me become my referral source? And here's one of the big differences, one of the big improvements that any lawyer can make to make a huge improvement in how effective and how profitable and how much money they can make with their networking. And
Right.
that is, find people who do service the same target market as you do, but find people who service the same target market as you do in a different way.
Right.
So, for example, if I was a family law attorney could find a family therapist.
Hmm.
they service the same target market, but they service the same target market in a complementary way. And you better
Right.
believe that if you're a family law attorney and you go to a networking event with a bunch of family therapists, you're probably the first family law attorney they've seen come through their doors in a very long time.
Right.
And you are unique and you're exceptional. And you can get a lot of business referred to you that way. Uh, Family law attorneys should go hang around with family therapists. They should go hang around with bankruptcy attorneys. They should go hang around with immigration law attorneys. They should go hang around with realtors. They should go hang around uh, with 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 with. I mean, believe it or not, a great untapped resource for family law attorneys. If I was a family law attorney, if I was a bankruptcy law attorney, if I was an immigration law attorney, if I was doing any kind of consumer area of consumer law, a
Right.
brilliant place to go get a lot of business and do some networking that none of them even go near.
Where's that?
You're going to laugh when I tell you. You're going to laugh, you're going to get uncomfortable, your mind is going to try to find reasons to dismiss what I'm saying, and then you're going to go, aha, that makes sense. You ready?
Yeah, you're keeping me in suspense.
Used car automobile dealership associations.
Oh, you're kidding.
Think about who goes to buy a used car,
Hmm.
right?
That is very clever. Yeah, very out of
People
the
who are,
box.
right.
Yeah,
People, well, because you're servicing the same market.
exactly.
They're servicing the same target client as the family law attorney, as the bankruptcy attorney, as the immigration attorney, as the criminal defense attorney. They're serving the same client, but they're servicing them in a completely different
Different
way,
way.
where we're referring their customer to all these different practice areas makes the used car dealer look good,
Hmm.
and it helps them make more money in their business also by
Right.
making sure that their customer or their prospect gets the help with the sort of legal problems that very often prevent them from being able to buy the car from the used car dealer. So,
Right.
there's 100,000 lawyers in this market who will say, "Oh, that's beneath me, and I don't want to get my hands dirty, and I shouldn't have to do that. I'm a lawyer after all, right?"
Right.
Well, while they're busy, standing around a bar function with, surrounded by other lawyers who do the exact same things they do, uh, maybe even being judgmental, maybe even laughing at those of us who go to where the business is, I'm telling you, we're cleaning up, and there's so much business out there that they could clean up too,
Right. Well, that's great. I love your
just by
example there,
going out
Arjun.
and networking.
Right. No, I love
Yeah.
that. So it's on the box. I would have never have thought of that. So I love that suggestion, Arjun. And we can learn from your mistakes. As you were saying, you were net socializing prior to realizing that you weren't
Oh
networking.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wasted so many hours and weeks and months, and I mean gallons and gallons of self-esteem. Oh, if I was a better lawyer, then somehow all this networking that I'm doing should generate more business, until you realize, wait a second, this is mechanically flawed. There's a
Mhm.
flaw in this strategy, and that's why it's not working. Now, there are lawyers who say, well, I do networking with other lawyers who do what I do, and I get lots of business. And to them, I would say, holy crap, just imagine what would happen if you actually went out and did networking with people who don't do the exact same thing you do. You'd get
Exactly.
even more business. You'd make even more money. But, there you go.
There you go. Great. Well, Arjan, thank you very much for sharing that information with us. And I know we're going to be talking with you again. So, again, encouraging attorneys out there to do networking and get results from that rather than net socializing. So, Arjan, thanks again. We'll talk to you real soon.
Bye bye. Thank you.